Is that a slutty zombie salad? That bottom middle one?
Sexy hungry man dinner. Hello, and welcome to Our 3 Cents. I'm Laura.
I'm Molly.
I'm Bailey.
And this is our special Halloween
Woo!
episode that we're doing on Bailey's birthday.
Yes, hello.
Because Bailey's birthday just happens to
Woo.
be right before Halloween.
But not on Halloween when
No,
you're
not on
hearing
Halloween.
this. But
Will they
today,
be hearing this exactly on Halloween?
I think so.
That's
what y'all want to do?
exciting. That's exciting. So excited for all of the listeners, everybody involved.
Trick or
Thank you to
treat.
the Academy, etc., etc.
That was good.
So we're gonna do some special topics
Do
today.
you need that thing that you just dropped, Laura? Laura dropped a thing. Oh, okay, bye.
So we're gonna do some special Halloween spooky
Ooh. Activities.
Yes, like fun Halloween centric topics today. We think these are fun, so we hope y'all do too. And Bailey's gonna start us out with
the scariest thing of all, possibly breaking copyright. But we're gonna go on a little adventure. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
I'm very excited. We'll be starting with Reader Beware, You Choose the Scare. TikTok, You're Dead. Give Yourself Goosebumps by R.L. Stein.
This is copywritten.
Shh, but we won't read the whole thing.
Sponsor us. You have a new movie
Goosebumps
coming out.
Sponsor us.
So y'all are still making money after like 3 decades.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make Laura and Molly choose their own adventure.
Goosebumps used to scare the shit out of me. Do you remember when we watched?
Like in the library?
Art class? Oh, I'm in an art class. Do you remember when we watched?
With the golden retriever with the glowing eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying. There was one that was like an episode where I don't even know the plot at all. I just know that there was a boy who ran into like a big drain off pipe, and you could see the other end, and he ran, and by the time he got to the other end, he was covered in this like gross brown sludge.
Ew.
There was people chasing him, and he was only in his underwear. And 1, it was very scandalous.
Gosh.
And 2, it was terrifying because there was people chasing him. I don't remember anything else that happened, and then I think I screamed and ran to the other room. It was like, I don't like scary things, contrary to popular belief of what I'm about to do.
Alright, are y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Molly, you have to listen up, because you two will have to agree on your choices.
That's never gonna happen.
Well, Chapter 1. What a crummy vacation. You, your little brother Denny, and your parents have come to New York City for Christmas vacation. You thought you'd get to do a lot of cool things, like visit the Statue of Liberty, ride to the top of the Empire State Building, and ice skate at Rockefeller Center. Instead, your parents are museum freaks, actually.
Same.
It's entertaining, your mom says as she drags you into the Museum of Natural History. It's educational, your dad declares as he shows you a collection of ancient pottery. It's boring, you say, but no one listens.
They never do.
And the worst part is that you're supposed to be in charge of your little red-haired brother Denny.
Those are the worst.
Only Denny doesn't want anyone to be in charge of him. You're not the boss of me, he keeps saying. What a typical younger sibling. We all relate to that, right?
We can all relate.
You follow your parents through the Museum of Natural History. At first, it is kind of interesting. You really like the dinosaurs. Wait till you see what's in this room, your mom cries. And now you have an option. Would you like to go to page 2? That's your only option.
Oh, well, yes.
You rush to the next room, expecting something exciting, but your mom is standing in front of a sundial. Isn't this wonderful? She exclaims. An exhibit on time. Great, you think. A whole room full of clocks. Boring. Then Denny gives you a karate kick in the back of the leg.
Okay, fuck Denny.
Ow, you cry. Stop it. You're not the boss of me, he says smugly. Yes, I am, you reply, punching him in the arm. He whines and complains to your parents. You can't win. I'm thirsty, Denny says now. You can see he's eaten almost half a bag of gummy bears in less than a minute. Can you find a drinking fountain for Denny, dear? Your mom asks without taking her eyes off a grandfather clock. Come on. You grab Denny's hand. But Denny pulls away and runs off down a hallway. You follow him. The hallway twists and turns. There's no sign of either Denny or a water fountain. But near the end of a hall, you see a sign on a door. Warning. Dangerous experiment inside. This door must be kept locked at all times. Dangerous experiment? What does that mean, you wonder? You notice that the door is slightly open. Oh no, Denny must have run in here, you think. You push the door open wider and peek in. There's no sign of Denny. A tall, skinny man with long white hair tied in a ponytail is bent over a computer. The computer is hooked up to a big, strange-looking clock. Between the computer and the clock is a large square contraption that looks like a picture frame. You can hear the computer and clock beeping and pinging. It's about time you got here, the tall man says, straightening up. I'm Dr. Peebles. You must be the volunteer. Actually, you start to say, I'm looking for... There's no time to waste, Dr. Peebles interrupts. I'm ready to start the experiment. Come on over. Well, Here, he says. He places a chain around your neck. On the end of the chain is something that looks like a stopwatch. A very, very odd stopwatch with a complicated-looking dial and 4 big knobs. Are you ready? Dr. Peebles asks. Ready for what? You ask. Why, to travel in time, of course, he replies. You'll be the first human in history to use my traveling chronometer. Chronometer, you echo. What's that? He points the stopwatch around your neck. I don't have time, you start to say, but he interrupts again. Of course you have time, Dr. Peebles goes on. It doesn't matter how long you remain in the past or future. When you return to the present, it will be the same moment that you left. It will be as if you weren't gone at all. How does this work, you ask, pointing to the stopwatch. It's easy, says Dr. Peebles. Press the button on the left side to travel to the past. Press the button on the right for the future. To return to the present, press the top button and the bottom button at the same time. Cool, you think. What if this guy's invention really works? Traveling in time would be awesome. There's no time to waste, Dr. Peebles says. I'm ready to begin the experiment now. You think for a moment. Dr. Peebles obviously believes you're someone else, but a trip through time sounds like a lot of fun. More fun than staring at crummy old bowls all day. And since you'll return at the exact same time you left, you'll still be able to find Denny and return to your parents before they know anything is wrong. On the other hand, Denny can get into a lot of trouble very fast, and your parents will blame you if anything happens. Make a decision now. Do you want to travel in time, or should you look for your brother first? So now you can either choose to volunteer for the experiment, or do you want to stay and look for Denny?
Experiment.
Experiment.
All
Fuck
right.
Denny.
Honestly, he karate kicked me
In the back
Yeah,
of
like,
my
what the
leg.
heck?
That's pretty rude. That's pretty rude. I'm ready to travel through time, you tell Dr. Peebles. Good, the white-haired man replies. He punches some numbers into the computer keyboard. The computer starts to hum. The square doorway between the clock and the computer fills with a strange shimmering glow. The chronoport is almost ready, the scientist says, pointing to the frame. I only need to adjust... But before he can continue, you hear pounding footsteps. You turn to see Denny racing towards you. Denny, you cry. He's heading straight for the chronoport. You can't go in there. You're not the boss of me, Denny yells.
I hate younger siblings.
He runs straight through the glowing frame. There's a soft pop before he disappears completely. Oh no, Dr. Peebles cries. He went before I made the final settings. If you don't bring him back within 2 hours of real time, he'll disappear into timelessness forever.
Let him go.
Yeah, bye.
This is not my problem. I'm not the boss of you.
Well, I'm wondering what timelessness is. What does that mean? Where's he
that
going?
SpongeBob episode where Squidward time travels and he gets
yes,
into the
and he gets
white
stuck in the
box?
white. Mm-hmm.
That's timeless.
That's what we should have just watched that episode.
Right?
That's kind of scary.
That's just good. I mean, for Squidward.
What? You cry? You stare at the scientist. Your parents are going to ground you for life if you lose Denny. Oh, you guys didn't think of that.
I don't care. I didn't lose him. He lost himself.
If you murder your younger brother, you will be grounded for life.
He ran into the cryptometer.
You'll have to time travel. You'll have to travel in time to find him, Dr. Peebles tells you. I'd better make those adjustments to the chronoport so you don't disappear into timelessness too. You stare at the scientist as he fiddles with the time machine. You can't believe it. This guy is really serious. When you find your brother, you must be touching each other before you use the chronometer. Otherwise, the device will only bring one of you back. No problem, you say, but where did Denny go? The future or the past? There's no way to know whether he's gone forward in time or back. You'll have to guess. You touch the chronometer around your neck. It began measuring real time the moment Denny disappeared. Already the seconds are ticking by. You have to decide. Are you more likely to find Denny in the past or in the future?
I would rather go to the past.
I would say future.
I don't know how well I think the future's gonna go. Ask me on November 7th. I don't care. I just really wanted to make that joke.
Okay, so Molly, you said future.
Well, we're talking about Denny, right? We're not talking about...
Right. Where do you think Denny went? To the future or to the past?
Yeah,
But he didn't get to choose, right? It was just...
Right. It was just random.
Oh, it was random?
So I think
Yeah.
it's the past. I think he was, like, typing in stuff, and he didn't finish, like, the last
So he would have gone
date.
behind him? That makes sense.
That's my logic
Sure.
on this made-up fictional...
I thought if he
choose-your-own
had to
adventure.
choose, he would have gone in the future.
Oh,
Well,
no,
he didn't choose. It was just random.
Yeah. It was whatever old man gray hair did.
Old man gray hair.
I mean, that's all they call him. They call him white hair man.
Mm-hmm.
Future. Past. Which one?
I need a consensus.
I don't know.
Past.
Let's just go with past.
All right. Travel to the past. I'll look for my brother in the past, you tell Dr. Peebles. Fine. Now, step right through the chronoport, and good luck. You approach the shimmering frame and enter it. You feel a strange tingling sensation. Everything appears hazy, as if you are underwater. A second later, you see 2 paths ahead in the mist. Wow! At the end of the left-hand path, you squint to see a tall stone castle in the distance. A knight in shiny armor on a white horse rides toward it. At the end of the right-hand path, there's a swamp with tall, strange-looking trees towering over it. Moving among the trees is, can it be, a dinosaur? Which path did your brother choose? Which one will you take? Quick, decide. Do you think he ran toward the knight or toward the dinosaur? And this time he did choose.
Little shitty boy.
Dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Dinosaur.
I'm not playing, but I would agree. Denny loves dinosaurs.
Ah!
You
All
decide
of them do.
You decide to explore the swamp where you saw the dinosaur. You're sure Denny went that way. As you move toward the swamp, tall, fern-like vegetation surrounds you. Through the trees, you can see huge shapes
Wait, I have
moving
a
about.
question.
Yes.
Traveling time is just a series of forks in the road where where you go to prehistoric
Yeah.
Earth
Or tonight's.
or to like King Arthur.
Medieval. Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, there are only 2 forks.
Got it.
This is just like Jurassic Park, only better. Which I beg to differ, but alright. The dinosaurs are red, blue, green, and lavender, as colorful as birds. Some dinosaurs are the size of dogs and cats, others are bigger than a house. They're all munching on leaves and weeds. You're about to move closer when a tremendous noise shakes the ground. The trees sway as the rumbling grows louder and louder. What's happening? You peer through the giant ferns toward a grassy plain. Your eyes grow wide. You can't believe it. Lumbering toward you is a Tyrannosaurus Rex!
They always come out and you never just stumble upon one.
Yeah, they always have to come out of the trees
They
to
always
get
have
you.
to make a statement.
That's true. The huge tyrannosaur towers over the other dinosaurs. It's bigger than you ever imagined. Its teeth are as long and sharp as carving knives. The enormous creature lets out a roar as it crosses the grassy plain. The other dinosaurs all start to run away. But one, who is grazing on ferns, is slower than the others. Oh gosh.
I don't need this.
I read ahead a little bit. The Tyrannosaur easily catches up to it and tears off the small dinosaur's head in one bite.
This is
Happy
graphic.
Halloween, everybody.
R.L. Stein, honey.
Oh, R.L. Stein
Honey,
wrote
calm
this?
down.
It's Goosebumps.
Oh, it's Goosebumps?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
I was very confused. I was like, how is this
Welcome.
Halloween related? But now it makes sense.
Welcome to the party, Molly.
Then the Tyrannosaur swings its head and stares straight at you. You take off as fast as you can. The Tyrannosaur follows, closer and closer. Ahead, there's a swampy patch of land. You race toward it. Something small is sitting in the middle of the swamp. It's Denny. It's Denny. But what is he doing? Why isn't he moving? Oh no.
Oh, is he dead?
No. Worse. You glance back over your shoulder. The dinosaur is still right behind you. Denny, run! I can't, he yells back. I'm stuck in quicksand.
Oh, I was about to guess that.
Denny! Get your shit together.
You reach the swamp and grab Denny's hands. With all your might, you pull, but Denny is completely stuck. You pull Denny again. This time he panics. He grabs wildly at you. The chronometer flies off the chain and around your neck.
The thing you learned about quicksand, don't panic.
You know, I find it
The
interesting that we
chronometer-
chose not to go look for Denny in the beginning and he still ended up with us.
And in trouble.
Yeah.
Killing you in quicksand.
Oh, hey, we did the right thing. We didn't go to the future.
Yeah, you did. Good job.
No, Laura, okay.
It's not what she meant, but you've made 2 right decisions. Well, you're about to die by a dinosaur, so I don't know how right.
Well, this is
No,
true.
no, I got with Molly's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm saying that, like, it doesn't matter which one we choose. The story's gonna go along with what we said.
Can you just let me live my life?
The chronometer gets off your neck and it goes into the mud. Now the T-Rex is only a few yards away.
Do you save yourself or save Denny? Save yourself.
Stop guessing. Also, can we talk about how when everybody was a child, there was this absolute fear of quicksand?
Yeah, I was about to
being
say,
much
I've seen
more
like a
relevant
meme
than
where
it
it's like, or like some kind of joke where
Yeah.
it's like quicksand really never became an issue in my life like I thought it would be growing up.
I thought it was so funny.
It's
like every
every
show.
episode of a television show had quicksand as a problem in some
But
point.
like every show. Like every show that did not need it.
Yeah.
It's a very large fear. For a lot of people.
So, you yank Denny out of the quicksand. With a loud plop, he's freed from it. Frantically, you look around for the chronometer. You've got to get back to the present, but there's
Is it in the goddamn quicksand?
There's no trace of the stopwatch. It's been sucked into the mud. Should you try to dig the chronometer out of the muck, or try to run away from the Tyrannosaur? Which will you choose?
You can't get away from the...
Do you want to try to outrun this T-Rex, or do you want to find your stopwatch thingy?
Find the stopwatch.
I mean, I was also going to say find the stopwatch.
Okay.
Because can't get out of the future
Yeah.
with the past. Do we get eaten?
I read ahead.
Do we get eaten?
You've got to find the chronometer. You stick your arm deep into the quicksand. You feel around with your fingers. Nothing. Suddenly, the T-Rex lets out a roar. You plunge both hands into the quicksand. Beside you, Denny drops to his hands and knees to search too. You sift frantically through the mud. The dinosaur comes closer and closer. He reaches out one claw. Then he lets out a tremendous sound. It's a burp from his earlier feast. A gigantic burp as loud as an explosion. The force of the burp knocks both you and Denny over.
It's disgusting.
The two of you pitch forward right into the quicksand. Oh no, you're both being pulled down into the quivering muck to meet the end.
We died?
You died. You got sucked in the quicksand.
We picked so many wrong things.
No, we picked so many right things.
You only picked one wrong thing. This is the only thing that killed you.
Oh, so we should have kept running?
I guess so.
When would we have come back for the chronometer?
What the
I don't
heck?
know.
See, Molly, there was wrong answers. We picked one.
Happy Halloween. You
Sorry,
died
we
death by
ruined
quicksand.
choose
No,
your
that's
adventure
okay.
By dying.
Hey, that's how adventures go sometimes.
Well,
Do you want to continue to play, or do you want to... Is that it?
can we skip ahead to the end to see what it would be?
Well, there's over 20 different endings, so... And that's goosebumps, or that's...
Those poor parents.
Give yourself goosebumps. That's... Yeah, you just, I guess,
Killed each other.
what's the opposite of orphaning somebody? Like, they didn't lose their parents, they lost their children?
Like widowing, but for children?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
And that is
kids,
TikTok, you're dead.
have kids died in Goosebump
Quicksand, probably.
books?
I mean, they can possibly die in this whole series of books. I don't know about the main series.
Well, yeah, obviously, this is like choose your own adventure. I meant like, does R.L. Stein like publish books where children die?
Where children get murdered?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We'll have to tweet and ask him.
Hey, RL.
Hey, RL.
We totally fucked up
Quick
and did not
question.
win.
What do you think RL stands for? Right,
Ronald.
left?
It's always Ronald.
Okay.
Like Ronald Dahl. That's the only other one.
Well, rolled.
Damn it.
There's not an N in his name.
Damn it. Okay,
But
my
good try.
turn. So, for my segment, I'm going to read scary stories that are also actually scary. Like, that was scary because I'm mad.
Because
But-
quicksand.
Because quicksand, an irrational fear I've always had.
Mm-hmm.
But now these are actually scary. So I have 3.
And see what's really scary about this one, or these, is that we don't get to make any choices. So
Yeah, no.
the absence of choice is just really scary.
I'm
All
like
this is just going to happen
addicted
to
to
us.
scary stories, even though they
I really
terrify
hope
me.
Molly's gonna like these. I looked these up and I looked up shorter ones so I could do more.
Mhm.
But like the whole time I was looking, I was like, Molly's not gonna find that scary. Molly's not gonna find that scary. I was like, we've all read all of these.
Oh yeah, because
Okay,
like
I have it, so I'll
BuzzFeed
be
posts
terrified
them
the whole
all the
time.
time. Like anytime I
Molly
see
sends
one,
me
I'll
scary
read it.
stories all the time.
Mhm.
Like that. Have we told the podcast that one time that we read scary stories?
Yeah, I
and was
think
just
so. It was like a
later
really
day,
early
I think
episode.
so.
Yeah, we were
Left
just like
journal.
hanging out in the apartment. We were just like sharing scary stories, even some that we had like experienced ourselves. And Laura's like, "All right, well, I'm gone for the afternoon." I was like, "What?"
Please don't leave me. Okay, so I think all of these came off of either Creepypasta, which is, did they start out as a podcast, or was it an online forum, like Reddit, but for scary?
Creepypasta is just like an internet scary story phenomenon.
It's like trademarked now, I think, though. I think they have their own, like...
I don't know who would have trademarked
either way,
it, but yes.
The owners of Creepypasta.
Of the word creepypasta?
I don't know. Either way, creepypasta is like scary stories on the internet that are fake but might have real words and what the fuck ever. And then Reddit. So, and then like the No Sleep podcast, I saw them a couple times, but it's just stuff like that. So, the first one is called We Live the Same Day Over and Over.
Ooh.
So, let's begin. So it's from, like, the perspective of the protagonist. Literally, October 23rd, 2018.
That's my birthday.
It's today.
Today! Hey, that's today.
Yes, it is. The day starts at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, the day goes for 16 hours, and then you fall asleep. When you wake up, everything is reset. Everything except your memory. Everyone gets to keep that. For the first few weeks, can you count weeks though when it's the same day? Everyone was confused. No one could figure out what was going on. Most people didn't think it was real. Then came the various theories. God was punishing us, of course. Then people moved on to other things. Everything from aliens to global warming to changes in the migratory patterns of monarch butterflies was blamed. Scientists from all over the world worked hard trying to figure it out. But I guess it's difficult to continue your work when everything just keeps on getting reset every 16 hours, including things written on paper or saved on disks. There are only so many complicated mathematical solutions one can memorize, I guess. Some people started to live a
hedonistic,
thank you, life knowing that there is no tomorrow and therefore no consequences. Some people went the other way and killed themselves, only to be restored to life at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. They had no memory of the time they spent dead. Why is this not? Pause for dramatic effect. Eventually, even the scientists stopped trying to keep track of the number of todays. People adapted and tried to make some sort of life with the idea of no tomorrow and the virtual immortality that came with it. This worked out well for some people, especially the rich, and not so well for others. It was worse for people like me, who were dying before the loop began. I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and given 2 weeks to live. The pain is unbearable at times, and the painkillers don't help that much. Most of the patients in my wing, and I'm sure millions of others with similar conditions, live in constant agony, with no hope of a cure of death to take away the pain. But I try to look at it more positively. Some kind of life is better than none, I think. Lights out, says the nurse. It must be 9:55 p.m. She is one of the few people who still comes to work every day to take care of people like me. Such an angel. Some kind of life is better than none, I think again, as I wind the strange golden clock the mysterious woman gave me yesterday and set the hands to 6 a.m.
I don't think that was scary. It was an interesting story. Not to harsh your vibe.
No,
Yeah.
not scary, but weird.
A good
So wait.
get you ending, like, ooh.
So
like drop the mic.
They just keep resetting the clocks?
Well, she keeps resetting it, I think, is what we were supposed to glean. Whether on purpose or an accident? I think on purpose, probably.
On purpose. Like, I had to read the comments, and the comments were like, it's ending. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is like a back and forth, like a conversation.
Okay.
So the first person says, subject, their like write-in submission is Candle Cove Local Kids Show, ? Does anyone remember this kids show? It was called Candle Cove and I must have been around 6 or 7. I never found reference to it anywhere, so I think it was on a local station around 1971 or 1972. I lived in a small town at the time. I don't remember which station, but I do remember it was on at a weird time, like 4 in the afternoon. Someone else write, it seems really familiar to me. I grew up outside of Ashland and was 9 years old in 72. Candle Cove. Was it about pirates? I remember a pirate marionette at the mouth of a cave talking to a little girl. Someone else says, yes, okay, I'm totally not crazy. I remember Pirate Percy. I was always kind of scared of him. He looked like he was built from parts of other dolls, really low budget. His head was an old porcelain baby doll, looked like an antique that didn't belong to anybody. I don't remember what station it was. I don't think it was on the WSSF, though. Someone else says, sorry to resurrect this old thread, but I know exactly what show you mean. Sky Shale. I think Candle Cove ran only for a couple months in 71, not 72. I was 12 and I watched it a few times with my brother. It was on channel 58, whatever station that was. My mom would let me switch to it after the news. Let me see what I can remember. It took place in Candle Cove, and it was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate ship was called the Laughingstock, and Pirate Percy wasn't a very good pirate because he got scared too easily. And there was a calliope music constantly playing. Don't remember the girl's name, Janice or Jade or something. Think it was Janice. Someone else says, thank you. Memories flooded back when you mentioned the Laughingstock in Channel 58. I remember the bow of the ship was a wooden smiling face with the lower jaw submerged. It looked like it was swallowing the sea and had an awful Ed Wynn voice and laugh. I especially remember how jarring it was when they switched from the wooden plastic model to the foam puppet version of the head that talked. Someone else says, haha, I remember now too. Do you remember the part, Skyscale, you have to go inside? Ugh, Mike, I got a chill reading that. Yes, I remember. That's what the ship was always told. That's what the ship always told Percy when there was a spooky place he had to go in, like a cave or a dark room where the treasure was. And the camera would post in the Laughingstock's face with each pause. You have to go inside, with his two eyes askew and that flopping foam jaw and the fishing line that opened and closed it. Ugh, it just looked so cheap and awful. You guys remember the villain? He had a face that was just a handlebar mustache above really tall, narrow teeth. I honestly, though, thought the villain was Pirate Percy. I was about 5 when the show was on. Nightmare Fuel. That wasn't the villain, the puppet with the mustache. That was the villain's sidekick. Horace Horrible. He had a monocle too, but was at the top of the mustache. I used to think that he meant he only had one eye, but yeah, the villain was another marionette. The Skin Taker. I can't believe that they let us watch that back then. Jesus H. Christ, the Skin Taker. What kind of kids show were we watching? I seriously could not look at the screen when the Skin Taker showed up. He just descended out of nowhere on his strings, just a dirty skeleton wearing that brown top hat and cape, and his glass eye that was too big for his skull. Wasn't his top hat and cloak all sewn up crazily? Wasn't it supposed to be children's skin?
What the heck?
Yeah, I think so. Remember his mouth didn't open and close, his jaw just slid back and forth. I remember the little girl said, why does your mouth move like that? And the skin taker didn't look at the girl, but in the camera he said, to grind your skin.
Excuse me.
I'm so relieved that other people remember this terrible show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream I had where the opening jingle ended, the show faded in from black, and all the characters were there, but the camera was just cutting to each of their faces, and they were just screaming, and the puppets and marionettes were flailing spastically, and just all screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying like she had been through hours of this. I woke up so many times from that nightmare. I don't think that was a dream. I remember that. I remember that was an episode. No, not possible. There was no plot or anything. I mean, literally just standing in place crying and screaming the whole show. Maybe I'm manufacturing the memory, but you said that. But I swear to God, I remember seeing what you described. They just screamed. Oh my God, yes, the little girl Janice. I remember seeing her shake, and the skin taker screaming through his gnashing teeth, his jaw careening so wildly I thought it would come off its wire hinges. I turned it off, and that was the last time I watched. I ran to tell my brother, and we didn't have the courage to turn it back on. The last person says, I visited my mom today at the nursing home. I asked her about when I was little in the early 70s when I was 8 or 9 and if she remembered a kids show called Candle Cove. She said she was surprised I could remember that, and I asked why, and she said, because I used to think it was so strange that you said I'm going to go watch Candle Cove now, Mom, and then you would tune the TV to static and just watch dead air for 30 minutes. You had a big imagination for your little pirate show.
Oh, that's
I
crazy.
hate it.
Isn't it creepy?
Mm-hmm.
All those people remember it.
I know, Mandela effect. It's relevant.
That's weird.
Gosh, I don't like it.
And then the last one. So this one's just fucking weird.
Oh boy.
The doorbell rang, and deep, riotous laughter rang with it. Trick or treat, a chorus of male teenage voices sounded. Miss Norman sighed. She wished the older kids wouldn't trick or treat in her neighborhood. Half the time they didn't even bother dressing up, just run around trying to snag candy. Last year a group of them had beaten up younger kids and stolen their bags. She had to put her foot down and call the police on ones right outside her home. Still, this year maybe they would behave. She answered the door smiling, primly proud in her homemade Pippi Longstocking costume, big bowl of candy in her arm. My, what a scary costume. And that's when she actually saw what was at her door. The bowl shattered as it hit her front porch, scattering suckers and Snickers everywhere. She screamed and screamed and screamed. When she fell sideways against the door and slid down to her carpeted floor, her screams turned into a word, a name slurred into a sob. Michael. Michael. Hours later, the police would confirm the obvious. Someone had dug up her infant son's grave and broken into its tiny coffin, stolen the child, and laid his body out on her doorstep. A host of felonies would apply, but only the suspect in hand. Very difficult to solve this kind of thing, Miss Norman was assured as she weeped into her cup of cocoa in her kitchen counter. Lots of hooligans this time of year, the police mentioned.
I don't like it.
Isn't that awful?
It is. But it's also, it could happen.
Wait, is that it?
That's it. That was really short. It was just fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up. For my Halloween segment, we'll be talking about our favorite Halloween costumes and what...
Or our least favorite.
Our least favorite, yeah, what we think we're going to be for Halloween, if we're going to be anything for Halloween, and just costumes in general.
Molly sounds like she's not going to be anything for Halloween.
Huh?
Are you going to dress up for Halloween?
I don't know if I'm doing anything for Halloween. Because, like...
Do you get kids?
Everybody's having parties this weekend, and I don't know if I'm doing anything. And then on actual Halloween, since everybody's having parties that weekend, or this weekend, I didn't think anybody would be doing anything for Halloween. That is my parents' anniversary, though. They got married on Halloween.
Wait a minute.
Why would they do that?
Wait a minute.
And I know you've told us this before, but I, of course, bury that deep in my mind until days like today when you bring it up. Why would they do... Hey, there's not even one reason why they should have done that.
They didn't even think about it.
What do you mean they didn't think about it?
I asked them if there's
It's
any
one of the
particular
major
reason. They said there wasn't a
holidays.
reason why they got married. They just, that was just the Saturday they picked, and it just happened to fall on Halloween.
Pick another
Do
Saturday,
they
Molly's
hate
parents.
all of the, like, their anniversary is
Yeah.
literally Halloween, like,
Or like,
anywhere they
the
go.
day they got married, like, picture the wedding, like, you don't got kids trick-or-treating, you got them having to dress up in their little suits and flower girl dresses to go to this wedding, to throw flowers instead of get candy.
I would have thrown a fit.
I know. Like, how, oh.
It's a bold choice.
And, like, your house could get egged or TP'd.
Because the neighborhood children know that it's your anniversary? Or
Well, no, because it's Halloween. And so, like, on your wedding day or on your anniversary, that's just, you're at, like, a higher threat level. Threat level midnight.
Oh, right.
Gosh. What do they think about that? What's it like to get married on Halloween?
They, like...
And have your anniversary?
They honestly, like, don't make it a big deal at all. Like... I've asked, and they're just like, that was just the Saturday we picked.
Like, do
So
they ever go out for dinner and they're just like bats fall in their soup because like
They get
the
Halloween
decorations?
specials?
Yeah, well.
No, they don't really do anything for their anniversary.
And isn't that the scariest thing? Sorry, was there a point you had? I know you said your parents. Oh, you were just telling us it was their anniversary. Okay.
Yeah, there was not a point. Yeah. So, what are y'all gonna be for Halloween?
I'm going to be paleobotanist Dr. Ellie Sattler from the Steven Spielberg classic Jurassic Park, as played by Laura Dern.
That was a explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do that?
Yeah, for, just pass out candy here. And then
That'll
if
be
you have your
fine.
Halloween
We're
party. Okay.
I'm very
Well, then, yeah,
sorry.
for here.
For everyone who wasn't invited, it's
Yeah.
not happening anymore.
Are you dressing up?
When that party was happening, Sam
Mhm.
and I were going to go as either Jim and Pam from The Office dressed up in one of their Halloween costumes,
Mm-hmm.
or Forrest and Jenny,
Mm-hmm.
or
Buzz
Ron
Lightyear,
Swanson
okay.
and Eggs and Bacon,
Oh,
or Buzz Lightyear and either Woody or Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not happening, But I am going to Disney World
Oh, jealous.
on Saturday.
Gosh, hey, it's my birthday. You can't do that to me.
It's not
Come
your
with me.
birthday
You
on
don't work
Saturday.
anymore.
You're right.
Um,
What'd you say,
It's
Molly?
not your birthday on Saturday.
It is right now.
Um,
Play the Laura card and pull my birthday month.
girl, you should have. Your birthday's late in the month. I pulled
That's
that. My
true.
birthday's over the first week. When I go to Disney, we're doing Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party,
It's so fun.
and we're supposed to be. Me and two friends are gonna be the good fairies from Sleeping Beauty.
Nice.
Thank you.
Which one
Thank
are you gonna
you.
be?
Merryweather. Yes, but then today one of my friends sent us a text that said we should be Dalmatians.
No.
So
That's also pretty
it
good.
might change because we were also toying with the idea of being Emperor's New Groove Clan.
Yes.
Um,
Who would you be? You've got this green on, something in
Yzma.
Pacha. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll more than likely be the fairies because they're just easiest to deal with, and like they have a big cast. So like it's me and two of my friends, and so it's one of my friends and his boyfriend. His boyfriend's gonna be Maleficent, and then I think his brother might go, and he's gonna be the Crow, and then his sister's going, and she's gonna be Aurora. I think that's how it's all gonna play.
Are you like really wearing fairy dresses? Or are you
No,
just
I think
kind of
we're doing like t-shirts and tutus.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll
Also
be
very
fun.
good. Molly, if you were doing something, what would your Halloween costume be?
I've been going back and forth because I still might be doing something, so I've been trying to think of a last minute costume idea. I kind of have been in a zombie mood for some reason. So like
Interesting.
I just like want to do like really good zombie makeup, you know?
That'd be really cool, and it's super easy too. Like you just do the makeup and then go to Goodwill and get clothes and tear them up.
Yeah, and I think I would be like a slutty zombie.
You just trying to transition us into our next topic?
No, but you guys
Or
freaking
was
ruined it
that
because that was a really
authentic?
good transition. I do want to be
You're
a
welcome.
slutty zombie. Because I have the hot pants, and I could just find...
Any pants you wear are hot pants, babe.
What are
You know hot pants. They
What
make
are-
your butt look good.
what are the hot pants?
They're like compression
I don't-
shorts.
Oh, those are hot pants.
Oh, so like Spanx kind of like they're really tight.
Yeah, so they're hot pants. So I do that, and I have like a white shirt that's kind of just old and I need to get rid of. So I would just, I could like rip that up.
Are you gonna rip up the hot pants?
No.
No, they're hot pants. You can't waste them.
Zombies don't wear hot pants.
And what specifically made you want to be a slutty zombie? It's an interesting combination.
Just because I won't look, my face won't look cute, so might as well show off my body in some way.
I love that, like, there's all these jokes about how the, like, Halloween costume industry can make any costume slutty, and then we have this perfect, organic, I'm going to be a slutty zombie. I love how this is I just looked up slutty zombie costume. This is a slutty zombie
Girl Scout.
Girl Scout.
What?
We have integrated into so many.
Well, you can be slutty anything. You can also be zombie
Wow.
anything.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
true.
true.
Just
Yeah, you
combine
can be
them.
zombie anything.
Combine.
Slutty and zombie are adjectives
See, if
that
I
you just
had
put
a
on another
cheerleading
costume.
uniform, I would have been a slutty zombie
Slutty
cheerleader.
zombie cheerleader.
Do you remember on How I Met Your Mother where there was the slutty pumpkin?
Yes.
And they were like, "How do you make a pumpkin slutty?" And they were like, "The holes are carved in strategic places." And then it was like Katie Holmes or somebody who played her.
That was really
Slutty
random.
zombie nurse.
Yes.
I should be a
Slutty zombie American
pumpkin.
princess.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of
Like, I could
blood.
be slutty zombie Laura Dern. You could be slutty zombie Woody from Toy Story. Play, Laura, please
I'm
be
very upset
slutty.
by this.
Gosh, I don't like that. Please be-
all of this.
Please be slutty zombie Woody.
Slutty honeymoon night zombie.
Nice.
Gosh.
The amount of things you can do with a slutty zombie costume. Insert extra adjective. It's like a Mad Lib, really.
Yeah. Just fill in the blank. Laura, tell us about that slutty Handmaid's Tale costume.
Oh, there was a big fuss this year because The Handmaid's Tale, the show on Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
based off the book A Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood.
Mm-hmm.
Someone came out with a slutty version of a Handmaid's Tale costume, and it was like every other sexy slutty whatever. It was short dress, low cut,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And there was such a big like backlash about it that the retailer
Mm-hmm.
decided to take it off,
Mm-hmm.
which is like a big deal for this retailer. I don't exactly know. Yandy, that's the retailer. So the online retailer Yandy, which apparently is known for selling scandalous, like they sell a lot of cultural like appropriation costumes, and
Mm-hmm.
they do like a bunch of other costumes that are like questionable.
Mm-hmm.
And they got such a backlash on this specific one that they took it down, which like they don't seem to care about much else. So it's interesting that they took it down. But I just found out they're a lingerie
interesting.
retailer. So that's interesting. But they got like, I mean, I can understand where the criticism.
Yeah, if you don't know what The Handmaid's Tale is about, it's about women's oppression and like lack of sexual control, like other people controlling them sexually. And the original outfit is supposed to be like super modest, so nobody's like seeing any part of the woman.
Yeah,
and so they turn that into a sexy
their hood
costume.
In the show literally doesn't even allow them to see anything beside them, because even seeing their eyes is immodest. Zoe Marglois at Girl One Track tweeted it. She's verified. I don't know who she is, I don't think, but she tweeted and said, "We're now beyond satire. Sexy Handmaid's Tale outfit. There's nothing like fighting the patriarchy by sexualizing a show about misogyny and rape," which is true.
Mm-hmm. So what do we think about sexy / slutty costumes? Because Molly wants to be one this year, and we reacted to it. So Molly obviously doesn't have a 100% problem with them. Molly, you want to tell us where you're coming from?
Well, I just think that like you don't have to make everything slutty. Like being a slutty.
She's just a girl who wants to be a slutty zombie.
Being a slutty zombie isn't controversial. Like I'm not offending the zombie culture, you know.
There's a bunch of Walking Dead watchers that would be highly offended.
So, they're not sexy, they're deadly.
Yeah, so I'm not offending anybody by being a slutty zombie. Now, like, appropriate, what is it? Is it appropriating? Is that the right word? Somebody's culture?
Appropriation? Yeah. Appropriating?
Yeah, somebody's culture. That is whenever being a slutty whatever is offensive. And I feel like these...
Well, what about just, like, I think slutty nurse, slutty cheerleader? What about those like basic ones?
I think they're dumb.
Where you're
but I would also probably be a slutty cheerleader if I had said outfit.
She just said she would, so
that is such a Molly statement. I think it's dumb, but also I would do it.
Oh no, let me tell you what I did earlier today. My brother posted a picture of him with a hospital wristband on literally every social media platform, so everybody could know that he'd been to the doctor that day. So I called my mom and I was like, "Why is Nick at the doctor?" And she was like, "Oh, something's up with his stomach. He's getting a CT scan." And I'm like, "I'm sure he's fine. Like, he's just being super over dramatic." And my friend Haley texted me and she was like, "Is your brother okay?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm sure he's fine. He's just being dramatic." And then like an hour later, my mother calls me and she's like, "Yeah, your brother's having appendicitis." It's like, oh.
So I take it back, Haley.
So I texted Haley back and I said, "Just kidding. He's getting his appendix taken out." And she's like, "That's just a Molly thing for you to say. Like, oh, he's fine." And then like an hour later, I'm like, "Just kidding."
That was a bad thing you did to your brother.
Is Nick
He's gonna be fine.
Are you
gonna be? He's just not.
He hasn't had surgery yet. He's either gonna have it tonight or tomorrow morning.
He's in the hospital right now. Where are your parents?
In their own home.
It's 8:03 p.m. Do you know where your parents are?
Okay, look, your parents aren't here on your birthday. His parents aren't there in the hospital with him. Like, Lord, I need all of my parents all the time. Well, what's your opinion on slutty costumes? Of just the normal, non-appropriating variety?
you choose to wear one, I mean, fine, that's up to you, but I hate how that's just, like, all costumes for women.
Yeah.
Like, that are being sold. Obviously, if you, like, make your own, it's whatever, but if you go to the store, it's like...
That's true.
Men get normal things, women's all have, like, sexy in front of them.
I told
Yeah.
Javid to be a slutty construction worker.
So, like the YMCA, the village people?
Yes.
Sure.
Molly doesn't know what the village people
Nope.
are.
I told him to wear cutoff jeans, though, to show off those thighs. And he said he would
So the
blind
village
everybody because of how pale
Okay.
his legs are.
He is a redhead.
He is a red.
Can we cover that up? It is pasty, I bet.
He is very pale.
Oh, yours is too! Also very pasty.
He makes me feel
it's
really
October.
tan. He hates whenever we lay next to each other because I just am so much. I'm not even that much darker than him, but like just because he's so white, like
It's noticeable.
yeah.
I'm pretty pasty myself, so it's not like
Yeah.
I'm showing off.
I don't like slutty costumes because I could I was always jealous because I never thought that I could wear one. I remember when I was
Conventional body types.
when I was in 8th grade, I was invited to like the big Halloween party of the 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And in first period, like a lot of girls were talking about what they were going to be. And all of these girls were like, I remember one girl specifically was going to be Alice in Wonderland. And it was like short skirt, the like thigh high stockings, like low cut, like top. And I was like, that is so cute, but I would never look good in that. And they were all just so excited about their costumes. And I remember like I made mine or like went somewhere and like Goodwill or like Walmart or something and like put together something, and it was cute, but it was like I was never comfortable buying like off the rack or offline.
Right.
And then when I got older, it was like there was like it goes from slutty or adult. They've like started to rebrand some to adult, but it's like on the picture the woman like
right. It's still slutty. They
like,
just didn't
you
say
understand
it.
what's being sold.
Yeah.
But that so it's like slutty / adult because some people are so bold. So it's either slutty / adult and then plus. And that's where I fall. So it's like,
which are all kind of like your like foamy costumes. Usually,
well, no,
like
because they'll have
pullover.
like
Or is that
plus,
just for men?
Yeah, I think that's a lot for me because they still have plus, and it's essentially slutty costumes, but much less, and not in the like we're doing this to benefit you because you have bigger breasts or bigger like butts. It's like you should cover up. It's not accentuating body types. It's like more fabric because you need to cover up, not accentuating your assets in a way that like they care. But like the other ones,
we still
like,
want you to be slutty, but not like don't let us see it.
Yeah, and so that's always like what I've seen is just like I want a slutty costume. But I'm also never the type of person who would be comfortable to wear something.
Yeah, I never want a slutty costume, and I hate that just
I used to always unintentionally wear slutty costumes. Like...
Unintentionally?
Yeah. Like, because that was the only option I had. Like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, in middle school, I think was how old I was. Maybe it was... No, it was 10th grade. I wanted to be a ladybug, and all they had was those, like, slutty ladybug costumes. And so I like wore that with tights, and my friend Jordan was a bumblebee, and hers was also a slutty bumblebee, so we both like had to like make it conservative,
less, yeah.
And then
they're just all like what's the word that like gymnastics people wear?
Spandex.
No,
leotards.
Like the name of
leotards.
Yeah, that's basically like what they are.
Yeah,
or but like a dress, like, tight dresses.
If you took off like the costume part, it's literally just the same thing. And I guess I like what Bailey was saying is like I wish that there was like non-slutty, like give me a bumble. Like in my head, I can't even fathom what somebody would like dress as, what Walmart would sell as a bumblebee costume for like a size 0 to 10, without just making it a bodycon dress that goes mid thigh to sweetheart neckline.
Yeah.
And then a giant ladybug wings behind it.
Yeah.
Like, how would they sell that and not make it slutty? Like, at this point, I can't fathom it because it's been so long that this is what the norm is.
Well, yeah, like, and there's such a jump because it's like you either wear child's clothing where it's like an actual like ladybug, like a full bodysuit.
Yeah.
Or you jump like even like the preteen options are still somewhat slutty.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have y'all seen where they show like even like young girl clothing
Yeah.
or like costumes are still like
They're making it younger and younger now.
yeah,
It's like
skirting into being sexualized. Like that's all it is, sexualization
yeah.
overall. And like that's all that's offered. Which like some people want that. Like Molly's gonna be a sexy zombie, maybe. But like if Molly wanted to be a regular zombie and she wanted to buy a costume from the store, like she should have that option.
Yeah, and like I don't know.
I don't like see my
Not
thing
being
is
able-
that mine's like a homemade costume. Like I'm not going out and buying a slutty zombie outfit. Like and like I would only be a slutty cheerleader if I had the
Yeah.
outfit already. Like I'm not because I do think that those slutty costumes are ridiculous. It's a little less ridiculous if you make it yourself, in my opinion.
You keep telling yourself.
Okay.
I don't care. I think it's ridiculous that like we've gotten to the point where it's like every costume can be slutty. And every costume can be sexy and every costume like apparently like the poop emoji is a big costume this year. Like
Why?
I've seen a
I don't know,
slutty
multiple-
poop emoji.
And that's a thing.
It's
They're
literally a
selling that.
leotard with just the poop emoji face. And I've seen a slutty Donald Trump.
They're slutty. That's the thing is that they're slutty everything.
See, slutty ones can be funny the more ridiculous they get. Like slutty zombies pretty good because like zombies aren't sexy in any way.
Inherently,
like,
yeah.
Right.
And that's another thing. The scale or the
spectrum.
Yes, the spectrum of like, so we're getting like slutty culture appropriation wrong. There are things that are inherently sexy to some people. Like nurses can be sexy. Like there's like a
fetish, fantasy. I mean, a nurse can just like be a woman. So if you just find women sexy, you can find a nurse
like
sexy.
Maids.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
maids,
yeah.
nurses,
cheerleaders.
Like there are some things that are like
stereotypes.
Kind of.
Is that what you're
archetypes? Tropes.
There you go.
That
got there.
Can be skewed to be sexy, and aren't necessarily wrong, aren't necessarily right, but like you can like it's more understandable. And then there's like ladybugs that's like don't know how we got here. Don't know if I'm into it, but not upset about it. And then there's like Donald Trump poop. What did you just say? The one that you just referenced?
Molly Zombie?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, zombie, Donald Trump. I just said
poop emoji.
Those are like we have gotten to the point in society where
we're making fun of the sexy costumes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Party City's women's costumes right now, and a lot of them are like pretty like they have pants or like they're longer dresses. Yes, but they have a costume or a category where you can search by like sexy costumes, like filter it out, and then so like there's this $80 Batgirl costume that just looks like a Batgirl costume. You might see it. It's like full. It's like pants.
Isn't it like skin tight though?
Yeah, it's better though. Wait, don't look at that one. And then there's what's called that one was women's Batgirl costume. Adult Batgirl costume has like
women's implies plus size though.
Do you think does it?
I mean, that's what plus size retailers use as the way to say plus size without saying plus size.
The adult one is sleeveless, short skirt, long like boots. Is there fur on it?
Why?
There's not fur, but it's sexified. Yeah. And then one more I do want to point out is that there is a adult Cowardly Lion costume, which is literally just like a dress with frills around it.
Oh my
to be
gosh!
The Cowardly
What
Lion
the
from
heck?
The Wizard of Oz.
Oh my lord, that's so dumb.
It's like a furry dress and then fuzzy boots.
But you'll be able to see.
You're right that all the ones that say women's are like the non-sexy ones.
I mean, that's
Adult Ray is normal, but the other adult ones are.
That's what most retailers, like if you go into Target or you go into Walmart or you go into like a straight size store or like not a clothing specific store, if they have differences of sizing, it'll be like petite and then it'll be women's.
gosh, these are so bad.
Sexy referee.
Let me read some of the titles. Adult stop traffic sexy cop costume.
What?
Women's sexy umpire costume. Adult foxy Daytona race car driver
Oh my
costume.
gosh.
Adult sexy olive oil costume. Adult sexy Spider-Girl catsuit costume. Adult stop traffic sexy costume plus size. Adult sexy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles costume,
Oh.
and they are not satire. I think they mean that one seriously, just judging by the model and what she's wearing. Adult Dallas Cowboys cheerleader costume.
That's literally just what they wear.
I was gonna say, there's basically no clothes there.
That's what they wear on the field.
A sexy Chucky costume. You know, Chucky the killer doll.
I don't know. I'm good with slutty costumes. I don't care if people wear them.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, do you? I'm jealous. But don't be dumb about it. You know?
What about adult sexy Lady Liberty costume? Are you okay with that one?
I'm okay with that one.
What about adult armed and dangerous SWAT costume?
Well, what was the protect
Traffic stop?
traffic stop? That's just cop, right? That's literally sexy traffic cop. Traffic.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's also adult bad cop costume. So
What's
you,
the difference between good cop and bad cop?
Laura, have you never seen the movie?
Literally the only difference is fishnet stockings.
Yes.
Because all bad
And
people wear fishnet stockings. Yes. Can we also talk about the egregious amount of money that they expect us to pay for a Halloween
yeah, these are
costume?
women's Dragon Slayer costume is $70.
What's the Dragon Slayer costume?
That Batgirl one I said was 70, and the slutty one was like 40 or
plus sizes
50.
are all cheaper though.
Well, this one's on sale. Let's see what the other one was. Adult butterfly body shaper costume, $80 for a corset, skirt, and fishnet stockings with tiny butterfly antenna and tiny butterfly wings.
It has 5 stars.
It does have 5 stars. It's also online only and only comes in a small size.
Well,
So there, Laura, there's your proof. There was a like sexy Catwoman costume, but this one's adult provocative cat costume.
PURR vocative.
And she has a longer whip.
Gosh.
No, BDSM. We already sexify everything too much. Why wouldn't we do it on Halloween?
I mean, we have been for so long. Why
Yeah.
not continue?
Let's talk about our favorite Halloween costumes.
I don't know.
I was Jessie one year, and we spray painted my hair
Oh.
red, and it all washed out in the white tub and left like a big red ring around it.
Favorite Halloween costumes that we've ever been?
Yeah, not your favorite like slutty costumes. Last year I was Mario, and I've been 3-hole punch Jim.
That was a good one. That was a really good one.
Thank you.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was when I lived with them.
I think
I'm
mine
excited for my Laura Dern
was when
one.
I was little. I went as a brain. I wore a
From Pinky and the
completely
Brain?
black, like dress cloak type thing, and then wore this really gross brain on top of my head.
You were just a brain?
Yeah. I was into like really grotesque costumes when I was little for some odd reason.
Okay.
Like I was the Scream guy one year, and like it had blood in it, so if I squeezed my little pump thing, blood would come rushing down
blood
my face.
runs,
That was
yeah.
a lot of fun.
See, that one I get, because it's like a character.
Yeah.
You were just
brain.
a brain?
Yeah.
I don't know what my favorite costume that I've ever been was. I can't really remember.
Where were you last year? Did you dress up last year?
I was in Paris. Oh, I dressed up as a jack-o'-lantern.
That's cute. I went as
A
the
sexy
devil last
jack-o'-lantern?
year.
A sexy devil?
It was a onesie from the Target the morning of.
I remember that.
Technically, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had to walk the very cold streets of Paris, so I wore like an off-the-shoulder top that was orange and black jeans, and I cut out jack-o'-lantern things and put them on my body. I don't know what I was the year before that.
Do you have any from childhood you remember?
I was one of the 101 Dalmatians when that movie came out one time.
Oh, I also went as
That movie came out in the 60s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You mean like out of the vault, maybe?
I went as Evil Morty from Rick and Morty last year too. I forgot about that.
That was a good one.
That was good.
Yeah, my friend went as Rick. It was fun.
Yeah, having both of y'all was really good.
Yeah.
One year I was Cruella de Vil and I had the whole like Disney official costume. But you know how Disney used to have like the full costume, and it came with like I think like a crown.
Do you have like a wig
No,
or like white and black hair?
no, they didn't come with a wig. But like all Disney costumes for a while, any character, it came with a crown, whether people had crowns or not. Some type of dress ensemble, and Cruella's also had a cape, like a little shawl, and then shoes, and the crown and the shoes had the same like emblem on them.
Bling. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like it had Cruella's face on my crown and on my shoes.
Nice. When we went to the not so scary Halloween party when I was in 7th grade, I was Captain Hook. Nice. So we bought a costume there.
There was also a time in my life when I was like, I'm too cool to dress up.
I know, I want to say like I wasn't going to dress up at Disney World, but then I was like, no, I want to.
Yes. And
so I'm glad I've come back around.
Same.
Most of my Halloween costumes are like last minute accidental costumes. I like just looked.
That's a very Molly thing too.
I looked back through like freshman year of college, and like all of my costumes are me throwing something together at the last minute.
Did you find any? Oh, you were Tina 1 year, weren't you?
No, I've never been Tina.
2 years ago?
People seem to think I've been Tina.
I was,
but I've never been Tina.
I thought, weren't you going to, like, one day at work or
something? I've always planned on trying to be Tina, and then I changed my mind.
Okay.
I was, the queen, me and Sam were the Queen of Hearts and a card 1 year at a friend's party, and that was fun.
Yes, that's a good one.
That was a good costume. I make a lot of mine, or, like, somehow put together most of my costumes. It's mostly just Disney bounding.
Yeah, like for this zombie costume, all I'd have to do is go buy makeup.
Yeah.
And that's so fun.
Yeah.
I just gotta go get a pink shirt, and I'm sure I already have khaki shorts and a blue tank top.
Are you just gonna play the soundtrack the whole?
I should. Oh, and I want to get a.
You have to have a little dinosaur to put on your shoulder.
Either a stuffed 3-horn
Triceratops.
Thank you. I was gonna call it Tyrannosaurus Rex, or I'm gonna get Obi a little like hat.
Oh my god! Wear. Get Obi a hat.
Since I'm sure I'll just like pass out candy or something.
That was a good episode, you guys.
That was a good episode.
That was jam packed and full of
spooks and scares.
At every turn.
You two died?
Yeah, Laura and I died.
That's pretty scary for me. I wouldn't want you guys to die.
I tried so hard. Got so far.
But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
So I guess that's it. Until next time. Until after Halloween. Until November.
Yep.
My birth month.
Yep.
Everyone remember, Scorpio season started today.
Gosh.
It is my time.
Mm-hmm.
I am now thriving. Whether or not my mind
now
says
Laura's
I
got
am,
it.
It's all a lie. It's all a facade.
Do you want to thank anybody for listening?
Not really.
Or tell them where they can find us? Okay.
So, thank you all for listening so much. If you ever need to find us and complain about anything or have suggestions or want to ask us
tweet
personal
if you have complaints
about our lives.
If you have complaints, you can find us at My Favorite Murder.
I almost redid one of theirs today because they talked about where the folklore about like hidden objects and candy, like poison candy,
yes,
for Halloween came from.
Yes.
Please but it was focus on ending this podcast.
No, it was kind of too real.
Yeah, I really liked it.
So, anyways, if you wanted to talk to us about anything, you can email us at ourthreecentspod, the like word 3 at Gmail, or you can tweet at us at ourthreecentspod, the number 3 on Twitter. We would love to hear your suggestions, complaints, personal info.
What's
questions.
Your favorite Halloween costume, and what would you have done differently in Molly and Laura's Choose Your Own Adventure?
You just say everything, and you'll probably have survived. You could have made friends with the dinosaur.
Yeah, that was that ending.
I guess other than that, thank you to Kevin MacLeod for our intro music.
Which is actually different this week. I'm going to put in Halloween music.
Oh my god.
But I don't know what it's going to be yet.
Screw Kevin MacLeod this day.
Only for this week.
Only today. Other than that, I am Laura.
I'm Molly.
I'm Bailey, and I'm paying attention.
This is Our 3 Cents. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye.